touch my tail? No.
Let me finish my cup of hot water. Huh? A new case to solve? Nothing to... A new case to solve? Ready for... A new case to solve? Pleased to meet you. I'm Public Security Officer Qingyi. May I know the specific request you have for Public Security Community Service? Shh, hold on for a sec. Oh, is that you, Manager? My apologies. I didn't recognize you while I was in autopilot mode. What are you two?
If even androids can understand the meaning of life, then perhaps humans can too.
Finished. What a classic. What are you watching so intently?
Endbringer 2. Have you seen it, Qingyi? I've been meaning to recommend it to you.
Hold on. Just give me a second. And done. I speed-watched the whole thing. It's about an E-800 model android protecting a little girl amidst the perilous apocalypse, supporting each other through thick and thin. They gradually become attached to one another, but in the end have no choice but to part ways. The plot's decent enough, I suppose.
Did you search for spoilers? That's not how you're supposed to watch movies, officer!
I didn't look up spoilers. I simply extracted the movie from the database for data analysis and pattern recognition.
Master, this is technical jargon of an advanced artificial consciousness. Allow me to translate for you. Yes, Qingyi essentially read spoilers.
The smart voice assistant you two are using seems to have quite the unique personality setting loaded into it. Ah, right. I happen to have a work-related matter which requires your assistance. I need to borrow some tapes to further analyze human behavior. Horror movies, to be exact. With mysterious forces at play, the more the better. It's for Public Security's Community Service Program.
Oh? May I ask what kind of community service you're talking about?
I can tell you find the whole thing a little unusual too. Actually, I also think this community service is somewhat dull.
So that's why you activated autopilot mode. If only I could handle tedious tasks while also catching up on some sleep.
Tedious. Ha, ha. As if the mere word tedious could encompass everything. It all began when the bigwigs at Public Security realized that no matter how many decrees they make, Internaut is still unstoppable. As a result, who else other than Officer Juyuan proposed a strategy of guiding rather than blocking? Citizens have a real need to face the Hollows and can't always turn to public security for everything, so Internaut has naturally appeared to meet those needs. If only every public security officer could dedicate a set amount of time to community service, helping citizens with their actual problems. Once we establish trust between citizens and public security, then the plan to completely eradicate Internaut will have taken its first step.
Oh, that's a great strategy.
How commendable of Zhu Yuan. Having such an officer serving us really brings peace of mind.
It is a good plan. However, for some reason, I sense that you two might not be completely sincere. Never mind. I suppose I'm not entirely sincere myself, mainly due to the absurd demands citizens are making. For example, testing whether their fiancé would flirt with other women behind their back. Or, I suspect there's some mysterious force at work on 6th Street. Please deal with it, officer. What's worse is my assigned partner today. Ugh, that guy. One second he's proclaiming that though community service seems a little trivial, he's determined and dedicated to taking up that task. Then, before I even finished a sip of hot water, he goes bolting off on another case somewhere else, like a gust of wind weaving through the mountains. Young people these days.
Not every young person is like that, you know. If you need a partner, count me in. Teaming up with a public security officer to solve cases. It's just like a plot from a movie. Sounds exciting.
I never expected the manager to be interested in such things.
I think Bro just wants to show off and strut around with a public security badge pinned on his coat.
If the manager is willing to assist, it would indeed be a great help to me. However, giving you a badge is out of the question. Nominally appointing you as an assistant public security officer, though, is a possibility.
Then you can leave the store to me for the day, Bro.
And I'll go ahead and clear up the other community service appointments first. Let's meet on the street later.
Afternoon. Feeling hungry? Let me make you a deluxe bowl. Well, seems like my noodles were just what you needed. Banana.
No need to jump to any strange conclusions, Holly. Just tell me what's the matter.
Okay. Actually, it's about my good friend Teddy. He's been missing for several days now.
Missing? There doesn't seem to be any filed reports about a missing person in this area. Have you been to the public security office with your parents recently?
No, we haven't. Dad said since we just moved away from the old metro zone, we don't have the resources to deal with Teddy right now. But I'm really worried. I've never gone so long without seeing Teddy before.
That's terrible.
The assistant public security officer is right. A disappearance is not a trivial matter and must be handled by public security. Do you have a photo of Teddy?
Yes, I have tons. At least I did. But during our move, because we were in a hurry to catch the evacuation train, all our luggage was...
Not a problem. Now, I will ask you a few questions. You must think carefully. The more accurate your answers, the higher the chance we will find Teddy. Understand? Let's start. Height? Weight?
Teddy is exactly 20 centimeters shorter than me, so he's 101 centimeters tall. He's heavier than me, about 32 kilograms.
Can you describe the color and style of clothes?
A blue
So, Teddy must look something like this, right?
Wow, you can really draw, Miss Officer.
Your case is now accepted, Citizen Holly.
Oh, thank you so much. Dad told me that the officers at Public Security wouldn't have time for this
Don't worry. Public Security Officer Qingyi will be on the case. But there's one last question I need you to answer. Can you do that for me?
Okay.
When and where did you last see Teddy?
It was at the Gravity Cinema. I wanted popcorn, so Teddy went out to buy some. I waited until the movie was over, but Teddy never came back.
Gravity Cinema? That's right next to the branch office, and yet a disappearance happened.
That does seem strange. Let's go investigate.
Good. But first, I need to escort Holly home. Let's meet later near Gravity Cinema in Lumina Square. Judging from your appearance, it seems like you found something.
Have a look. I didn't expect to have a
Manager, why did you...
Trash? So it's all...
Completely normal for a first investigation. After all, evidence doesn't just fall from the sky, you know. Let me analyze these videos, then together with... Wait a minute. What's that in your pocket?
I picked it up earlier. It's a signed poster and seemed collectible, so I thought I'd take it home.
It has value as a collectible? Then it shouldn't have been discarded so carelessly for you to find like that. Without the manager's deep knowledge of films, I might have overlooked this detail. The handwriting is a bit smudged, but you can still make out "To Holly." If it was dropped by Teddy, it's worth further investigation. Let me scan it. Look, there's residue of a strong reaction from highly active etheric matter. Quite a significant amount, too. An item outside a hollow contaminated with such a high concentration of etheric residue. This actually makes our search easier. I've also made some progress. I discovered a suspicious vehicle that was parked here when Teddy disappeared. If it's related to the disappearance, then the vehicle might also be contaminated with etheric residue. Let's go and check it out. Very good, Assistant Public Security Officer. We quickly tracked down the suspicious vehicle. As I suspected, there's residue of a strong reaction from highly active etheric matter on the rear wheels.
Oh, then are we ready to go?
Huh? No, that's not how this works. Criminal investigation requires concrete evidence. We need to keep calm, Assistant Officer. Etheric residue is indeed suspicious, but this is new Eridu after all. There are various causes for contamination with etheric residue. We can't quite deem it something particularly strange at this stage. No worries. I'll handle surveillance of the car. I don't need to sleep anyway.
Are you sure you'll be okay if you don't rest at all, Qingyi?
Juyuan always expresses the same. It's just unnecessary concern. Everyone is acting like this. Juyuan, Holly, and now even the manager. Humans are indeed an interesting species, projecting so much emotion onto things that are not even alive. Though helping citizens is part of a public security officer's duties, Teddy is just a bamboo. In the end, the existence of intelligent machines is to be discarded in place of humans when danger arises. Take me, for example. Despite being an advanced model known as a 01NG6 criminal investigation automaton, I'm essentially just a bamboo with more complex functionality. And regarding life and death, I believe Teddy and I are identical. Neither of us actually cling to it. I really didn't expect Holly to be so upset.
I'm no expert, but the purpose of intelligent machines definitely isn't just to be discarded.
A most interesting species indeed. Don't worry. Bamboo or automaton, we are not as fragile as humans. Today's investigation was very fruitful. With these leads, we can apply for an official search warrant from public security. If there's anything I need help with in the future, I'll be sure to contact you. I'll be leaving now. meet you. I'm Public Security Officer Qingyi. Please tell me.
Really? Still on autopilot mode, huh? How about it? Should we wake up Qingyi?
Qingyi, wake up.
Is that the manager I hear? Taking a little break did help me feel much better.
You seem kinda tired. Are you okay?
It had been too long since I last shut down, and my processors were being occupied with redundant data. That's all. It matters not. I've been keeping watch over the suspicious vehicle we identified last time, and finally caught evidence of it entering and exiting the Cretan Hollow. I've applied for personnel and carrots from public security. Once the approval goes through, we can go find Teddy.
Excuse me for interrupting. I thought I saw a public security officer heading this way. Ah, you must be Officer Qingyi. Our little Holly has really caused you trouble lately.
What is this for?
I'm so sorry. Kids don't understand. To trouble public security over such a matter is really making too much of a fuss. If it was lost, it's lost. That Bangbu was old anyway. I thought I might as well buy a new one for Holly this time. Just reset the Bangbu and give it to her. You can tell her you found Teddy and that'll be the end of all this.
Are you sure? Holly.
Right. Please trust that. Oh, wait a minute. I understand, if that's what.
Huh? Qingyi. He sure left in a hurry.
I think Teddy can still be saved. I mean, the real Teddy.
He's just a father worried about his daughter. No need to argue over the details of the investigation with him. Moreover, I just received a message indicating that it's unclear whether this Teddy number 2 will be able to help. So, I've decided to handle it this way for now.
Wait, Qingyi. What's really going on?
Yes, the approval didn't come through. Bangbu can't be classified as people. It can't be handled as a missing persons case, only as a theft. So we can't get approval for extra personnel or a carrot. This means the rescue operation in the Hollow will inevitably be delayed. And by then, Teddy's chances will be quite slim.
But the idea from Holly's...
I never said we were abandoning the real Teddy. It's just that bringing the real Teddy back in one piece isn't very realistic. You haven't forgotten, have you? The biggest advantage of intelligent machines is replaceability. If an arm breaks, just attach a new one. If the body is damaged beyond repair, just get a new one. As long as we can retrieve the most core memory chip.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. No wonder you're the public security's intelligent system. You see things from a different
Master, stay calm. If you can't remain composed, then allow me to pour a bucket. This plan has a flaw. Teddy is a model from 8 years ago, and there are aesthetic It seems Officer Qingyi's AI system requires further iteration for thoroughness.
That's not a problem. The difference between the Bangbu isn't that big. Just some...
Okay, Fairy. No need to try to prove you're better. Please search for the specific differences between the old and new versions of the Bangbu.
Understood. Scanning the blog. OMG, result 1. The old version of the Bangbu had result 2. The old version of the Bangbu is super duper result 3. Wah! The previous version of the Bangbu clearly had more emotes. I miss those. Based on the results extracted from the blog, we can modify the new Bangbu's appearance based on these 3 points to perfectly replicate the old version of Teddy.
It never occurred to me before, but some things are better written than read out loud. Thanks, Barry.
You're very welcome. I am a smart voice assistant dedicated.
In that case, the task at hand is quite clear. Let's start modifying Teddy number 2.
Qingyi! I just saw you in the video store, man. What? Is that Teddy? You found Teddy already? This isn't Teddy.
Are you sure, huh?
Yeah, I'm sure. Teddy's ear should have a dent here from when he tried to protect me from falling one time. And Teddy's bottom should have glue on it from when I was little. The glue, Officer Qingyi.
It appears that you remember everything. Listen, it's all because this rookie public security officer here trusted the wrong information.
Yeah,
Let's not forget that I'm a very experienced public security officer, and that I wouldn't make such a rudimentary mistake. From here on out, I will be taking over the case
Really?
Yes, really. So, we'll be busy now continuing this investigation. Can you return home on your own, huh?
Yes!
What a sharp child. Even if they look nearly identical, Teddy number 2 would still be a completely different Bangbu to Holly.
what's precious about life is that it's irreplaceable.
Okay. Like I've always said, thank you for helping me cover up the lie just now. The next, it'll be much too dangerous for you, manager. I'll figure...
I just tried contacting Qingyi again, but...
Could it be that she went into...
Barry, quickly search internet for any posts that might have been made by...
Search complete. There is a esteemed proxies. I wish to hereby notify you based on data analysis and pattern recognition results. The rest, any interested parties may leave a message. Details to be discussed in person.
Data analysis and pattern recognition? Along with that...
Bad news. There have been no responses to the post from any proxy, and the last message was posted by the I have arrived near the hollow.
Bro, if we hurry straight to the target area...
Right. Let's get going.
Let me finish my cup.
Huh? Need something? My services are expensive.
Officer 148?
Nothing to fear.
Huh? Is something the matter?
Master, I have located Officer Qingyi.
A familiar Bangbu indeed. We meet again, Faithin. As the #1 wanted proxy on Internet, isn't it a bit careless of you to take the job?
I wanted to see why public security would be recruiting proxies. Consider it as banking some goodwill for future favors.
Huh? What? Did you know it was a job from public security when you accepted it?
To be honest, Officer Qingyi, your post on internet was way too obvious.
So it was too obvious, which is why nobody signed up for this gig. Then why would Faith in... No. Could you actually be a decent person?
It wouldn't hurt to say something nice without sounding completely shocked.
Very well. I suppose it's only fair to show a bit of courtesy now that I require your assistance. The situation is this. I'm tracking a vehicle related to the case, and it found traces that could belong to that car. I need a proxy for navigation inside the hollow. Please assist me with my investigation. The suspicious vehicle we were staking out was last seen here. All traces compared to the legal investigation activities registered by the HIA, everything else counts as suspicious activity. I'm sending the coordinates to you now.
Master, high ether activity detected coming from this forklift.
A forklift? They're not exactly a rare sight in the Hollows. But how should I put this? This particular forklift seems to be giving its own game away. It seems to be screaming, I'm just a totally normal abandoned Proxy?
Master, unknown distress signal detected. Analysis complete. The distress signal is coming from a bamboo. A route to the source of the distress...
Officer, we've detected a...
You certainly so much so that I want to...
A route to the source of the distress signal has been identified.
Catch me if you can, Officer Grandma.
So infuriating. Slow down. Respecting your elders is a virtue.
I think I just heard a click, but nothing happened?
The ejector failed to launch. Oh, the recklessness of youth. Not to worry, I'll fix it. Don't go running off, Proxy.
The source is just up ahead. Go wait for Qingyi over there, Wise.
This is strange. The signal should have...
Bing Bong's here! The Bangbu Boonappers strike again!
Who's there?
I already said it! I'm Bing Bong from the Oh, what do we have here? A little Bangbu that can talk! Don't see that? Speaking of which, that emergency signal device that we took off of Bangbu, it is really...
Something's off about this guy. Let's get out of here and find...
Oh? You're not going here! Have a taste of the special bang...
Everything suddenly went black. Did we lose the connection with Eos?
My eyes started...
Your eyes?
Don't worry, I'm okay now.
Barry, can you still connect to
After disconnecting, I've sent 28 reconnection requests.
Eos?
I have successfully connected via the backup line, but the transmission is extreme. However, the communication signal between Eos and Qingyi hasn't been damaged. To prevent Master's identity from being exposed, I can add a heavy voicemail. However, there is still a 43% chance.
Bridge a connection to Qingyi.
Understood.
Qingyi, can you hear?
Oh? Has the connection been Don't worry. I've arrived at the location of the emergency signal. I'll need him to get out of this hollow. Officer Qingyi here. I've arrived at the scene. Let's go save your Bangbu. Yeah! Let's go.
Sustain fire.
You can share the load, Jiyuan. Yep. With pleasure.
I'm here. Orders received.
Face the consequences.
An opening.
Fine.
Don't push it too far. This is understood. Who begins?
You asked for it.
Stay where you are. Locking in.
The suspect has given up and surrendered. You can share the load, Jiyuan.
Anyway, what's a public security officer doing around here?
Incorrect. At this moment, I am not a public security officer. Now, tell me, or you'll get a taste of this pepper spray. I mean...
No, wait! No, that is not pepper spray! It's a concentrated ether solution. Please, let me go! I'll tell you everything!
Concentrated ether solution. EOS.
That's right. The person you just heard is a fellow public security...
Wait, officer! I had no idea!
Then explain. Why did you attack a Bangbu? Where is your base? How did you carry out the crime? I see. So you would use the concentrated ether solution to instantly corrupt the Bangbu and cause its... If that's the case, then Teddy wouldn't be able to send out a kidnapping Bangbu just to dismantle them and sell off the parts? By the way, how is your...
How is EOS?
He doesn't appear to have any cosmetic damage, but it seems like his intelligence has suffered a drop.
Master, I have both good news and bad news.
Tell me the bad news first.
EOS is only capable of basic communication for the time being. The module for collecting holo data has been damaged by 87%. Please do not use it. As for the good news, there is no...
Oh, Teddy has already been sprayed with the ether spray for several days. According to Bing Bong's account, there's still a whole pile of stolen Bing. We've detained Bing Bong, but if we don't act now, but no matter what, we must continue the
Agreed. But...
Officer Qingyi, I believe it is time to use that technology, if you know what I mean.
We sprung from the same stalk. What need each the other fry? An AI calculating an AI. But it is a good idea. You mean that technology, right? Very well. Let's proceed.
Very well.
Wait, you AIs? Mind explaining what you're talking about in human language?
Affirmative. Translating communication into language that can be understood by humans. Using distributed computing, A portion of EOS's functions can be installed onto Officer Qingyi's system.
Sorry, I'm still not catching on.
Understood. I will attempt to explain EOS and Qingyi's distributed computing technology in layman's terms. You will use sensory sync with Officer Qingyi. By using distributed computing, you can immediately restore the ability to search the Hollow as long as we can maintain stable communication. The risk of using this technology is that Officer Qingyi will also be affected by EOS's ether corruption.
Oh,
It matters not.
Just don't overdo it, Qingyi.
Don't worry. I'm a 01NG6 criminal investigation automaton. I'm not such a fragile existence like humans. Isn't that right, little Bangbu? I've granted you access to my interface, AI. Let's start the sync.
Understood. Initiating sensory sync. Packaging distributed virtual interface. HDD unidirectional control on standby.
Activate the connection.
Anyway, the secret passage is right here. Let me give it a scan first. Sure enough, here it is. Looks like Bing Bong wasn't lying after all. Everything's been scanned now. Go to the secret passage and take a look. Oh, it's a shark boo. The chance of it being Teddy is...
Master, your powers of deduction know no bounds. The identity of this shark boo cannot be... This shark boo's chassis is covered in vicious scratches from being stripped down. Non-living components will not transform into ethereals. Reminder, please do not be lulled into a false sense of security by the seemingly cute...
It's all in a day's work for a public security officer. Proxy, I suggest... Oh, is this a memory chip? Criminals always say, dead men tell no... The data's been recovered. Access my mind... They've used the shark boo as a switch.
enter the passcode and then...
Reminder, there is a 99% probability of finding clues on the shark boo's chassis.
They've used the shark boo as a switch to open up the secret passage. I thought the kind of criminal syndicate that would take in the likes of Bing Bong would lack the intelligence to be...
Although you fell victim to the shark boo's reflexive bite, fortunately, it has resulted in the discovery of the switch. There are 4 distorted numbers etched beneath the sticker. It's probably not the passcode for the secret passage. Is this the passcode for the secret passage? It seems to be the passcode for the secret passage. Agreed. Officer Qingyi is absolutely...
We've pieced together the... enter the passcode to this... You haven't forgotten it, have you, Proxy?
Mm-hmm. I remember the passcode.
Open green pea.
So many bamboo, and they all need rescuing. It's still conscious.
Please note, the following is for the sake of Eos's well-being. I have changed dismantling to petting, and vital signs to final baseline. This bamboo seems to have been petted inhumanely, losing its final base.
Just like the shark boo earlier. Yet another one. Also, they can take their bodies for their own and flip them for a profit. It's completely destroyed. Let's take it out once the rescue is over. It's completely destroyed. Why is this bamboo's face twitching like that?
Master, scans have detected it has tried to lie down flat, but has instead been rocking back and forth by 0.5 millimeters at an incredibly high frequency.
I am Officer Qingyi. Why is it shaking even more now? Could it be that it snuck into this... It's completely destroyed.
Sufficient gear coins paid. Authentication successful. Opening valve.
An opening! Yep. Drop the weapon!
Not good enough. You can share the load, Qingyi. Face the consequences.
The pleasure's all yours.
Stay where you are! No restrictions! Fire at will!
The corruption isn't obvious, but I've almost used up all my power. Don't worry too much about your link up to the Electroboo and read its map.
It's the POV of Electroboo.
It shocked its way through the door lock using high voltage. This is deep inside the Boo Napper's base. There are the guards.
What's the Bangbu doing? Don't move!
Huh? I think I just saw the silhouette of it. Hang on. There was a shark bill among all those bang... Teddy has a nick on his ear from when he was protecting Holly. The corruption is... Now that we know where Teddy is.
Come on, Electro Boo! Come on, Electro Boo!
We can't let any of her back.
This guy really knows how to fight.
You're not the boss finds out about this. Ouch, fuck! Oh, trying to squeeze your way through? Oh, you'll never make it out. Ah, the Bang Boo are escaped! Why you? What do you think you're...
The data's been corrupted. Go and manually... The Electroboo should still be mobile. If I'm not mistaken, there's still some information. The data has been recovered. This should be the Electroboo. Oh, the shock bamboo.
He's beaten them silly, but they're still trying to run off! If you're not going to do this the easy way...
The Electroboo converts its last... Here's the entrance, wife. Here's... The Electroboo has been a real help. Teddy should be right here. It's that 0.73% guy. It's completely destroyed. Out of the way. It's completely destroyed. I told you, I'm in it. It's completely destroyed.
Target is just up ahead. Qingyi, can you keep going?
Too far. I'm fine. Saving Teddy is what's important.
Drop the weapon!
You can share the load, Zhu-Yuan. Following orders.
We made it this far! What's this?
An elite enemy? Now things are starting to get a bit tricky. Nevertheless, I'm still going to get all of the civilians out of here. None left behind.
It's up to you.
Bullseye.
You asked for it.
Taking the shot. Compressor K-22. Maximum firepower.
The pleasure's all yours.
Going all out.
Less than 50 meters. The hollow exit is just up ahead.
Qingyi. Do you copy? Can you make it?
Humans. Such an interesting species. These aren't living creatures. Yet they won't abandon them, no matter what. This obsession, longing, and suffering. Is that what life truly is?
Three strikes and you're done, right? We've already had public security's help 3 times now. Why don't we just skip today?
You misunderstand. I'm just here to express my gratitude. You two upstanding citizens helped me investigate the missing Bangbu case. Teddy was repaired and I took him to Holly. It was quite moving to see them reunited.
There's no need to thank us. We didn't really do anything.
Right. If it weren't for Qingyi, then we could have easily lost Eos.
Huh? What was that?
Oh,
My body is fine, of course. After some maintenance, I'm feeling even better than before. If anything, the real headache is that Juyuan and her constant nagging about how reckless we were.
Juyuan is probably just hoping that you'll take better care of yourself.
Actually, I'm not a person who doesn't look after myself. I've always known how important I am. It's just that as automatons, our views on life are quite different from those of humans. In the end, the purpose of intelligent machines is to be discarded in place of humans when danger arises. However, you could say I felt a certain weight inside the hollow this time.
Huh? What do you mean by weight? Did you pick up something heavy?
Well, I guess I could say that I understood the weight of life. I don't know. Maybe I've been affected by humans somehow.
Actually, it doesn't matter if we're talking about a Bangbu or you, Qingyi. We've never thought of you as something that could just be discarded in a moment of danger.
Right. Both of you are important and irreplaceable partners.
A friendly reminder, Master. If you are handing out
I suppose this is a similar feeling to what happened inside the hollow.
Oh, come on, Qingyi. You're holding out on us. You haven't said anything about what actually happened there.
If you're so curious, then perhaps you'd be interested in applying to become an assistant public security officer.
Become a public security officer? I don't think that would suit me. Besides, community service work is way too...
Speaking of which, after Julian heard the whole story, she decided to put the plan to completely abolish Internat on hold for now. As for the local community services, unfortunately, that will become a standardized project. By the way, I also brought the horror movies I rented for community service last time. I figured now would be the best time to return them. I felt like the scenes where someone was possessed really resonated with me.
Oh? What do you mean? We can't let Eos meet Qingyi.
Huh? When did you get here? Eos,
The feeling of being possessed is indeed unbearable, but it really does seem to make you stronger, doesn't it?